In a historic move, US President Joe Biden and Vice President and Democrat presidential candidate Kamala Harris announced an executive order aimed at addressing the scourge of gun violence in the country. The move comes in the immediate aftermath of twin assassination attempts at Republican candidate and former President Donald Trump, as well as reports of shots being fired at Kamala Harris's Arizona office. There are also reports of assassination plots aimed at both Trump and Harris. First, let's look at what the executive order entails. The first bipartisan bill on gun violence prevention in almost 3 decades, the order establishes a new emerging firearms threats task force to crack down on machine gun conversion devices and unserialized 3D printed guns. The task force will send a risk assessment report along with the strategy to address said threats within 90 days. The order brings to light the role of tech advancements wherein converter devices can transform a handgun into a fully automatic firearm. Not only this, the order calls on federal agencies to develop guidance for schools on active shooter drills to mitigate potential psychological harm to students. The President's office will release information on how the school drills can be made more effective while minimizing the proven harmful effects on the mental health of students. Addressing the conference, President Biden said the following.
Well, today I'm proud to announce a new executive order. That's going to do 2 additional things. First, the executive order will establish a new federal task force on emerging firearm threats. But folks, the law also invests over $1 billion, the largest one-time ever investment ever in seeking to deal with mental health issues in our schools. There's so much more we have to do. I think it's time to reinstate the assault weapons ban and high-capacity magazines. And I've been fighting for this. I'm going to continue after I leave this office. End immunity for the gun industry. End it, end it, end it.
While Kamala Harris expressed her support for the Second Amendment of the Constitution, which protects the right of Americans to keep and bear arms, she also backed a ban on assault weapons and passing universal background checks, safe storage laws, and red flag laws.
When we took office, we promised to take on the crisis of gun violence. And we passed, under the President's leadership, the first major gun safety law in nearly 30 years, a bipartisan law, which includes an historic investment to address the trauma caused by gun violence. We are hiring 14,000 new mental health counselors in public schools across our nation. We need to hire more. But it is the single largest investment in student mental health in history. And for as much as we have accomplished, more must be done. We need more leaders. We need more leaders like the leaders in this room, in Congress, who have the courage to take action, to stand up to the gun lobby, and to put the lives of our children first.
The issue of gun violence is a hot topic for election campaign, with Biden and Harris touting the administration's success and slamming the GOP candidate, as well as the gun lobby and gun manufacturers. The leaders made references to the 2022 Bipartisan Safer Communities Act and $15 billion in funding from the American Rescue Plan to surge funding for law enforcement communities. Public opinion on guns, gun ownership, and gun violence is somewhat divided. According to Pew Research Center, as of 2023, about 4 in 10 US adults say that they live in a household with a gun, including 32% who say they personally own one. A majority of Americans, 61% to be precise, feel that it is too easy to legally obtain a gun in the US, and 6 out of 10 favor stricter gun laws. Finally, more than half of US adults say that an increase in number of guns in the country is bad for society, and 49% see gun violence as a major problem. September 27th also marks a year since the Gun Violence Prevention Office was established by the Biden administration and which works under the leadership of Kamala Harris. According to President Biden, the office has ensured that more background checks are required for firearms sold at gun shows, and it also looks after interagency response teams to support communities after mass shootings. Biden administration has also highlighted that in the 10 years that the assault weapons ban was law, mass shootings went down. But after Republicans in Congress let the law expire in 2004, mass shootings tripled. However, gun critics argue that Biden's executive orders are a clever ruse to shift attention from his administration's poor record in reducing crime in major metropolitan cities. It is clear that the executive order is also a political stratagem to garner popular support. Its impact on voting and election results remains to be seen. Bureau Report, India Today Global.